Brittany McCrystal, and this is your cozy corner of the internet where we chat all things health, wellness, and sustainable weight loss. Now, if you are new here, welcome! And if you've been tuning in for a while, welcome back. I'm so excited that you choose to join me each and every week when these are uploaded. So, before we jump into today's episode, I did want to just give you a little life update. It's been a while, and I just feel like I've had a really nice week. So, for those of you who are regular listeners, you'll know that I recently went to my first Pilates class. Sorry, let me rephrase that. My first reformer Pilates class, and I didn't know what to expect. I was actually really nervous, and I was getting like the nerves were basically like taking over me, and I just thought that I was too late, which is so funny because I was obviously like just getting in my head about it. But I went obsessed with it, and now I can't stop going. So I've been going like 2 or 3 times a week. It's so good. It's such a nice change for me because usually my workouts are quite high impact. I normally do like 2 or 3 Barry's classes every week because I just love cardio. I know, shock, horror, I'm probably the only one. And then I've just been filling the rest of my workouts with Pilates. So it's been such a nice balance, and I've been getting my cardio fix that I love, but I've also been slowing things down, focusing on strength and mobility, and also my recovery as well, which has been really good. We had the most wholesome weekend ever. It was so cute, guys. On Friday night I did a little bit of work. I have some posts coming up for KitchenAid, which is like a pinch me moment. It's like a dream brand, and when they reached out to work with me, I was like, holy moly. So of course I had to say yes. It has put a little bit of stress on me though, because I really want to impress them. So if you guys do see my KitchenAid posts, please go and share the love, because I'm like in awe that they even reached out to me. So I did that on a Friday night, and then on Saturday we went and played some badminton with a bunch of friends, which was so much fun. I've never played badminton before. I'm really bad. But it was real fun, and I went with a group of friends, and I basically laughed so hard that my stomach hurt. And then on Sunday we went to church, and we finally found a church in Melbourne that we both love. It is incredible. It's called Lifehouse, but it has honestly taken us so long to find a church that felt right, and we finally found one that we absolutely loved. We ended up taking Josh's family, so his sisters and his sister's boyfriend, and my best friend Rachel and her boyfriend. So we're basically like recruiting everyone to come to church with us, and everybody really enjoyed it, and the speaker was so good, and it was so special. And after church we came back and we used the pizza oven in our apartment building, which is really cool because I've never used a pizza oven before, and it was so fun. We all made our own pizzas, and it was just one of those weekends that leaves you feeling like really grateful. I've woken up today, I'm completely fresh. It's just so good. So now it's Monday morning, I'm recording this, and I've got my full plan for the week. I'm feeling really motivated and excited, and if you guys have been tuning in for a while, you'll know that I am starting a new business, which I haven't fully like launched all the details on yet. I'm thinking I could probably do it in the next couple of weeks, but I'm so excited about this next chapter. I've decided that I'm going to document the whole entire journey and bring you guys along for the ride, because I feel like I'm stepping into something completely new, and there'll be lots of lessons, wins, challenges. There's going to be a whole lot of behind the scenes. There's already been a bunch of challenges and also a bunch of losses, but I think it's really fun. It all builds it, and yeah, I'm really excited that to bring that out, and I'm excited to bring you guys along for the journey. Okay, that is enough life updates. Let's get into today's episode, because this is a topic I know that so many of us are struggling with right now. This is the most common message that is landing in my DMs at the moment, and it goes something like this: I've been working out 4 or 5 times a week, I'm hitting my step goal every single day, and I'm trying so hard. So why the F is the scale not moving? I'm going to break all of this down today. If you are trying to lose weight, the problem isn't your workouts, it's the food. Now, before you go and switch off this episode, hear me out. Most women aren't sitting around doing nothing and complaining that the scale isn't moving. In fact, most of these women in my DMs that I speak to are working so hard, like really hard. They're getting up early, fitting workouts in around busy schedules, walking more, moving more, and generally giving it their all. But they are spending 99% of their energy focusing on workouts and exercise while paying very little to their nutrition. The reality is that when it comes to fat loss, food is the absolute biggest piece of the puzzle. Exercise is amazing. It improves your fitness, it builds muscle, it boosts your mood, and supports your health. But if your goal is to lose body fat, nutrition has to be your priority. You simply cannot outtrain your eating habits. And a lot of this comes down to women not understanding how many calories their body actually needs. Now, let's make something super clear here. Do not compare your calories to someone else's. I'm going to give you my breakdown, but whatever I am eating, it is not going to be the same for you because we are all completely different people, and I'm going to break all of this down so you get a really good understanding of it. So, I am 5'2". Yes, I am very short, and I weigh 55 kilos. So, my calorie needs are going to look completely different to somebody who is taller than me, who weighs more than me, and who has a totally different activity level than me. This is exactly why copying somebody's influencer meal plan online or TikTok what really works for anybody. Everybody is different. So somebody who weighs 80 kilos is going to need more food than somebody who weighs 55 kilos. And someone who is 5'8" is going to have a different calorie needs than myself, who is 5'2". So understanding your own specific calorie requirements is everything, because once you roughly know what your body needs, everything starts to make a lot more sense. You're probably wondering how on earth you can find this. I have a free calorie calculator. If you want to go into the show notes below, there is a link down there and you can use that, and it will just put in your details, and then it will send you out your calories for maintenance, your calories for weight gain, and also your calories for losing fat too. So I wanted to talk about these sneaky calories that are holding so many people back. This is where I see probably I'd say 99% of people stuck. I'm talking about the calories that people don't think to count. They don't track, or they simply don't realize that they're adding up throughout the day. I have been there a million times before. And I think this was the biggest light bulb for my entire weight loss journey. So listen to this. I used to make this specific baked egg dish all the time. My mum used to make it when I was growing up. So when I moved out, I started making it myself. It was absolutely delicious. It had eggs, bacon, spinach, cream, cheese, and I'd usually eat it with like 2 slices of toast. It kind of felt healthy because I was like, well, I know what's in it. It's like all natural ingredients, I guess. I genuinely thought that like it wasn't that bad and I was making a great choice. Then one day I started to learn about calories and I decided to track it. Guys, let me tell you, I nearly fell off my chair. That one meal was 750 calories, and now that was only my breakfast. 750 calories for this tiny little bowl of baked eggs. Like, the ramekin was so small. I remember sitting there thinking, how is this even possible? I can't believe I've been doing this all this long. It was such a massive eye-opener for me because up until that point, I thought I was doing everything right. I wasn't eating takeaways, I wasn't eating junk food, I wasn't eating chocolate bars for breakfast, so I couldn't understand it. But what I didn't understand is how quickly calories can add up from things like cream, cheese, bacon, and cooking oils. So instead of giving up my favorite meal, I asked myself a different question. How can I make this lower in calories while still making it taste amazing? So what I did, I got creative. I love cooking, so this was actually a little bit easier for me. I swapped the bacon for ham. I used light cream instead of regular cream. I added extra spinach to bulk it out, make it bigger. I used a combination of whole eggs and also egg whites as well. And I switched to light cheese. By doing that, I got the meal down from 750 calories to under 400 calories. And not only that, the portion size was actually bigger because I added more volume through the spinach and the egg whites. And suddenly, I had an extra 350 calories to play with throughout the day. That's a snack, a dessert, a coffee with friends, or just more food at dinner time. That was the exact moment I realized that weight loss wasn't about eating less food, it was about making smarter choices with your food. That is exactly the entire reason why my recipes look the way that they do. Every single recipe I create starts with a meal that people already love. And then I look at how I can make it higher in protein, lower in calories, and more filling without sacrificing any of the flavor. Because nobody wants to eat boring diet food for the rest of their life. The goal is to eat the foods that you genuinely enjoy and still get the results that you want. This is what helped me lose 27 kilos and what has now helped hundreds of women also do the same. Now, another thing that I wanted to touch on was the hidden trap of healthy eating, because I want to break down how easily this happens. One single tablespoon of oil is around 120 calories. If you're using oil at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's around 360 calories before you've even eaten a single bite of food. Now let's add 2 coffees. Let's say each coffee has milk, a little bit of flavored syrup, coming in at around 130 calories each. Now that is also low because normally most milks will sit at around 120 to 130 calories for 1 cup. So if you add those 2 coffees, that's another 260 calories. So right now we're sitting at roughly 620 calories for the day, which blows my mind because you haven't even eaten a proper meal yet. You simply cooked your food and had 2 coffees. Not even any bits of food, just oil. If your calorie target for fat loss is around 1,500 calories a day, and you've already used over 40% of your daily budget before breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snacks have even entered the picture, can you see how easy it is for calories to sneak in without you even realizing it? This is why so many people tell me, Britt, I'm eating so healthy, but I'm not losing weight. It's because healthy foods can still be high in calories, and those little extras seem so harmless at the time, but they add up so incredibly fast. Things like sauces, dressings, mayo, butter, full-fat cheese, a handful of nuts, and weekend drinks. Individually, they don't seem like a lot, but together, they make a massive difference. Because healthy doesn't automatically mean low calories. That is where food swaps come in, and they will be your superpower. One of the biggest reasons I've been able to maintain my weight loss is because I don't focus on restricting, I focus on swapping. If you have a pen and paper down, you can jot these swaps down, but some of my favorites are, I'll trade like a regular bagel for bagel thins. I swap regular soda for no sugar. I opt for lighter options instead of full-fat dairy products. I also make sure to use spray oil instead of pouring oil straight into the pan. And I choose extra lean mints instead of higher fat versions. Now, none of these changes feel restrictive or sad, but when you add all of those little adjustments together across the entire day, they can easily save you hundreds of calories without making you even feel like you're on a diet. Another thing I wanted to touch on is why protein changes everything, because you hear everybody raving on about protein, but I thought I'd just touch on it a little bit and dive deeper into why we do this. So if you have 2 women eating the exact same number of calories, but one is eating 120 grams of protein and the other is eating 50 grams, they're going to have 2 completely different experiences. One is full, one is starving. One is maintaining muscle and the other one is losing muscle. If you are working out tons and putting in all of that effort in the gym, eating enough protein is the ultimate secret to actually building that toned look that we are all after. Muscle requires protein to repair and grow. When you smash a workout, protein is what goes to work to shape and define your body. Without it, your body can end up burning away all of that hard-earned muscle for energy instead of fat. Protein is honestly the ultimate game changer when it comes to staying full and satisfied in a calorie deficit. It keeps those crazy cravings away, and it actually fuels your lean muscles so you can get the most out of every single workout. To make this super clear, let's actually look at the math, because this is where so many people accidentally trip themselves up without even realizing it. So, to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, which means you are consuming fewer calories than your body burns throughout the entire week. So let's say your fat loss target puts you in a 400 calorie deficit per day. If you do this perfectly from Monday to Thursday, that is 4 days of being on track. 4 days times 400 calories, a total deficit of 1,600 calories built up by Thursday night. You are doing amazing. But then the weekend hits. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you stop tracking and just go with the flow. Maybe you just have a few drinks, some takeout, a nice dessert. It doesn't feel like a crazy binge, but let's say you accidentally eat 600 calories over your maintenance level each day from Friday to Sunday. 3 days of 600 calories over, that is 1,800 extra calories you've consumed on the weekend. Now let's look at your final math for the week. You created a 1,600 calorie deficit during the week, but you ate 1,800 extra calories over the weekend. So 1,600 deficit minus 1,800 surplus is plus 200 calories. Instead of being in a deficit for the week, you actually ended up in a slight calorie surplus. This is exactly why you can feel like you are working incredibly hard, being good 80% of the time, but the scale refuses to budge. You don't have to lock yourself in your room all weekend, but what you do need to do is be mindful that those weekend calories count just as much as Tuesday calories. Your body doesn't know it, but Saturday and those extra bites, sips, and treats can easily wipe out 5 days of hard work before Monday even arrives. I know it seems hard, but it is honestly just about planning for it. I think one of the biggest things that helped me was I would look at my week and I'd be like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do this week. And on Saturday, I want to have some drinks with the girls. Fine. I let myself have the drinks on Saturday night, but I made sure that on Sunday, I was straight back on the plan. And also Saturday, right up until that point where I went out with the girls, I was on plan. And that way I was able to enjoy it, not have to worry about it. And I knew the next day I was straight back on plan. And then what happens is a lot of people will punish themselves and be like, well, I'm just going to go and exercise the extra calories off, which is the automatic response for most women, right? They add another workout, but the scale doesn't move. So they do more cardio and it still doesn't budge. So they slash their calories even lower. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons women struggle to lose weight is because they think that they need to be 100% perfect and they punish themselves for the things that they've done on the weekend. One takeout meal and they think that they've ruined their whole entire week. One missed workout and they think that they've failed. One bad day and they decide to just throw in the towel and start again on Monday. But fat loss doesn't come from being perfect all the time. Remember, it comes from consistency. It's about what you do 80% of the time, not what you do just one random afternoon. The reason I've been able to maintain my 27 kilos weight loss isn't because I was being good at dieting. It's because I learned how to transition into maintenance. Anybody can be strict for 8 weeks, and anybody can survive on dry chicken, broccoli, and pure misery for a few months. But the real skill is building habits you can actually see yourself doing 5 years from now. When you reach your goal weight, the foods you eat shouldn't completely change. You should still be eating the same meals and enjoying the same flavors. You simply get more flexibility and a little more food. That is what turns weight loss from a temporary phase into a permanent lifestyle. And that is exactly what I want for every single woman listening to this podcast. So that is all that I have for you today. I really hope this helped you realize that if the scale isn't moving right now, it doesn't automatically mean you need to eat less or spend more time in the gym. Sometimes it's simply about understanding your calorie needs a little bit better, becoming more aware of the hidden calories you're sneaking in, and a few simple swaps that actually make your journey easier, not harder. So if you have been enjoying this podcast, it would mean the world to me if you could like and share this podcast. That would be incredible. It's how this podcast grow. And if you've been listening to today's episode and you feel stuck or overwhelmed, I would absolutely love to chat with you. My DMs are always open over Instagram, so come and hit me up and let me know that you came from the podcast as well. Tell me a little bit about your goals, where you're struggling, and what's been keeping you stuck. I offer one-on-one coaching, and I'd be more than happy to have a casual chat to see whether coaching could be a good fit for you and your lifestyle. No pressure at all. I just genuinely love hearing from you guys. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for spending the day with me. If you're new here, I really hope that you enjoy it. But thank you to everybody who keeps coming back week on week. Honestly, it means so much to me. So I will speak to you in the next episode. Bye.